Hello viewers, welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Tanya Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, Public Service Day Committee members engage in outreach program at Operation Youthquake. Health professionals here sharpen skills on how to assist people affected by HIV stigma and discrimination. And the Dominica Cadet Corps parade on Windsor Park Stadium last weekend. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories when National Focus returns. Stay with us.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your Government Information Service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel.
Why do we allow visitors to enjoy our island sites and attractions and we don't? Why do we allow visitors to grace our hotels and guest houses with their presence and we don't? Dominica is ours to enjoy as well. There is so much to do and experience which will help us Dominicans to appreciate our nature island even more than we already do. After all, it has given us so much, why not return the favor and own it? Nafternoon Dominice. I am Felix Henderson and I am Dominica. Are you?
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Stigma and discrimination continues to be a major obstacle in people accessing services for HIV-related conditions in Dominica. This was revealed at the start of a week-long workshop on stigma and discrimination, which got underway here in Roseau on Monday. The workshop was organized to equip healthcare professionals who work with people affected by HIV and AIDS. Coordinator of the National HIV/AIDS Response Program, Julie Frampton, told the opening ceremony that being fearful of discrimination can have serious implications for people living with HIV and society at large.
Fear of discrimination prevents people from acknowledging they are HIV positive. Fear of discrimination prevents people from seeking treatment upon diagnosis. Fear of disclosure or suspicion of HIV status stops people with the disease from using condoms and from adopting other preventive behaviors. It also prevents people from getting tested, even if they suspect they might be HIV positive. It forces people to pretend they are heterosexual, some of whom would have homosexual or same-sex relationships at the same time. Prevents communities, families, and partners from providing education, care, and support for people with HIV and AIDS and for people from other highly vulnerable populations. It negatively affects the quality of care provided to HIV-positive patients. It prevents national authorities from getting a true picture of the burden of the epidemic because people are not coming forward for testing, care, and support.
HIV has been an epidemic affecting Dominica for several years. The island reported 15 new HIV infections in 2011. Since the first case was reported in 1987, Dominica has reported a total of 376 HIV cases. The National HIV/AIDS Response Program Coordinator says the country has to continue in its efforts at reducing the number of cases. She views this week's training program as making progress in this effort.
And if we, as a country, we do not do something about it, we'll be in serious trouble. So, as we continue to scale up and improve the services that we give, I am so pleased that we are here this morning to participate in this one-week training.
Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Helen Roye, declared the workshop open, saying that much more needs to be done to challenge the stigma and discrimination.
These efforts to counter stigma and discrimination have been led by our own National HIV/AIDS Response Team in Dominica. But this is not enough if we want to experience greater success. It will require concerted efforts from a wide cross-section of society. Hence, it is an opportune time to expand our efforts and get more people involved in raising awareness on challenging stigma and discrimination. It is my understanding that this workshop is the first towards the practical application of a stigma reduction package, which will include measuring stigma, building local capacity, and developing policies which you will help to roll out. We are happy to be part of that pilot project.
Ayana Hippolyte from the Health Policy Project is the Caribbean region's program manager. She noted the workshop will also focus on improving regional coordination and communication around stigma and discrimination.
The key areas of focus of the Health Policy Project in the Caribbean are improving regional coordination and communication around stigma and discrimination, because this is not a new thing. We've been working on stigma and discrimination for some years now, and my previous work was with PANCAP in the Law, Ethics and Human Rights Project, and also with the Stigma and Discrimination broader program. We've been doing a lot of work. Julie and her team and all the national programs have recognized the importance of working on stigma and discrimination, but yet we've had some difficulties. So what we did was pull together some of the areas that we haven't been doing so well in, like regional coordination and communication, making sure we get the information to who needs the information, and working on accessing non-stigmatizing health services. I don't have to go back over what Julie said. I think she summed it up quite effectively, that we have to provide quality professional services to all our clients.
This week's workshop will be facilitated by consultant facilitator Ross Kidd. As part of its outreach program, members of the Public Service Day Committee last Friday took time off from their regular duties and engaged in a special day camp activity with students of the Operation Youthquake. The Operation Youthquake for the past 18 years has been providing daycare and short-term residential care to young children who are abused, deprived, neglected, or in some form of crisis. The day camp activity allowed public officers to interact with the children and spend some quality time with them. The officers used the occasion to pray, sing, and engage in pep talks and other fun activities with the children.
Today we are organizing a day camp at the Operation Youthquake, where we're going to spend a day with the residents of the Youthquake and engage them in several activities. We'll be having games, talks with them, and we'll be also sharing with their household activities like washing and cleaning when necessary. One of the hallmarks of our day event is that we have prepared meals from public officers, and everybody contributed something. So today they were not responsible for cooking. So lunch today is on the public officers.
During Friday's day camp, public officers spoke to the children about building self-confidence and aspiring to make meaningful contributions to society. GIS National Focus spoke to 2 of the officers who were engaged in pep talks with the children.
I started speaking to the residents this morning with a short quote from Dice's Calypso. When I see them, I know this could have been me. And the reason I did that is by trying to get them to identify situations where we believe that our environment determines exactly where we happen to reach, where we'll reach in the future. It was interactive, and some of the students, the inmates believe that their environment will determine their future, whereas some believe that it was different. Sharing with them, knowing that we could all come from situations or surroundings where people who were given the same conditions with us, went to the same primary school, lived in the same area, they end up going into drugs, being victims, I say, of teenage pregnancy. But we have a choice to make a decision as to where we go from there. And I would like to leave here this morning with the message that we can determine where we come from. So we could not determine where or what our situation was when we were born, what family we were born into, what environment we were born into, but we can determine what happens to us in the future if we only make the right choice.
I had the opportunity this morning to speak with the young people on their dreams, and it's interesting that a lot of times in settings like this, in centers like this, you find young people have dreams, but they find it difficult so that these dreams are materialized. All right, so I encourage them to set their dreams, and not only have dreams, don't just fantasize about dreams. You set goals for yourself. You ask yourself where you'll be in the next 2 years, or the next 3 years, or the next 5 years. But the most important thing is, how do you get there? Having the dream is one thing, but how do you get there is another. So I encourage them to have a level of motivation. It may be something internal or external motivation, and you have to hang on to it. If you have a talent, for instance, you mingle with people with the same talent. You try to get their input on where you want to go. You try to get them to give you a push forward.
Elisha Joseph, a resident of Operation Youthquake, has big dreams for himself. He wants to become a great footballer one day. He is grateful for the special moments spent with the public officers and is optimistic that good things are in store for him.
I feel uplifted, and I feel open out because there are some people who care for me.
The outreach program at the Operation Youthquake last Friday formed part of activities in observance of Public Service Day, which will culminate in December 2012. In addition to attending formal school programs, beneficiaries of the Operation Youthquake are taught life, home and social skills, including cooking, baking, agriculture and animal husbandry. The Operation Youthquake also provides individual and group counseling and recreation in a safe, secure and caring environment. Contingents of the Dominica Cadet Corps on Saturday parading at the Windsor Park Stadium. The Cadet Day Parade marked the end of a week of activities marking Cadet Week 2012. The Corps currently comprises 7 units within its infantry, band and Sea Cadet components. The activities included parades to competitions together with a number of promotional events. Saturday's parade was an opportunity for the young cadets to display their acquired skills. Commandant Superintendent David Andrew, in his address, noted that it was a challenging year for the Corps.
An inactive Central Committee, a shortage of officers, lack of teacher participation, and limited financial resources, just to name a few.
Amidst these challenges, however, the Corps achieved major goals during the year, including an increase in membership.
In June of 2011, 21 recruits were enrolled at the Northeastern Comprehensive. 1 month later, we had the launching of the Sea Cadet unit with a number of 25 students being enrolled. And you can see them immaculately clad in conspicuous white before you. We also had for the year under review the formation of units in the St. Mary's Academy and the St. Martin's School, together with increased numbers in the band and other established units. All this together are building blocks as we march towards battalion strength.
Acting Prime Minister and Minister for Youth Affairs, Honorable Justina Charles, who inspected the parade on Saturday, also addressed the cadets. She reaffirmed the government's commitment to youth development.
Government believes that every young person has unlimited potential lying hidden within themselves. This is why we continue to spare no effort in encouraging and assisting the youth to reach their full potential, so as to live successful lives in a future that belongs to you.
Honorable Charles is confident that the Cadet Corps program continues to have a positive impact on the lives of the participating youths.
I am satisfied that, if successfully executed, this syllabus will, in addition to developing self-discipline, foster the building of confidence, self-reliance, initiative, loyalty to country, respect for others, spiritual development, and a sense of service to other people.
During last weekend's parade, awards were presented to deserving cadets. We now bring you some of the highlights of Saturday's parade. And finally, this news time, Police Chief Cyril Carrette has appealed to nationals to be on their guard and to assist local police in their goal of providing safety and security for Dominicans as well as visitors to the island. The police chief made the appeal as he addressed residents of Calibishi last week.
We want to ensure that we have a country where we can make progress. And when people come and they rob people, people are going to be afraid to come to Dominica, to come to Calibishi, to come to invest. And then we're going to be blaming people, we're going to be blaming each other. And I don't think that is the way it should go. We should try to ensure that we stop those things. We have people burglarizing people's places, and they have stuff. They are selling the stuff. And people are buying the stuff from them because I think you're paying a little bit of money, nothing much, for something sometimes somebody has worked so hard to secure for many years. Somebody might have been eyeing something and they're going to work towards that. They might have gone overseas, deposited money, and after a while they happen to come into possession of that thing. Somebody might have passed on and left it to you, and you cherish it, and somebody just takes it and just blows it away for nothing. You know, I think we have to be concerned about those things.
And that's news. When we come back, we'll bring you a few upcoming events and government notices. Do stay with us.
Afternoon, Dominice. I am Felix Henderson, and I am Dominica. Are you?
Time now for the government notices. The Geothermal Project Management Unit of the Ministry of Public Works, Energy and Ports would like to inform the general public, particularly residents of Loda and patrons of the Titu Gorge area, that well testing activities will be ongoing at the drill site located near Domlec's balancing tank. No one will be allowed beyond the balancing tank before noon on Tuesday, April 17, 2012. Please adhere to any signs and instructions from authorized personnel on location. Any inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. Residents of Penville and environs are invited to the 14th inaugural meeting of the Village Council scheduled for Tuesday, April 19, 2012 at the Penville Primary School. All cocoa farmers of the Central and West Agricultural regions are reminded of the cocoa pruning demonstration to be held on the holding of Hudson Paul at Clark Hall on Wednesday, April 18, 2012 at 9:30 in the morning. The extension staff of the Central and West Agricultural regions and the Cocoa Development Officer will be present. And farmers are reminded that as of March 31, 2012, all produce sellers' licenses have expired. In this regard, farmers are kindly reminded to renew their cards in order to sell produce and conduct their own business. Farmers who have never had a produce seller's license are encouraged to consult with their extension officers to get their licenses. The following individuals or their personal representatives are asked to come in to the Housing Division on Goodwill Road at their earliest convenience: Ronna Williams, Sandra Sylvester, Victoria George, Earl Morency, Ruth and Rochester Warrington, and Arthur Lewis. Up next is your tip of the day. Today we'll share with you a few tips on oral health. Brush your teeth at least twice a day. When you brush, don't rush. Take enough time to do a thorough job. Use the proper equipment. Use a fluoride toothpaste and a soft bristled toothbrush that fits your mouth comfortably. Consider using an electric or battery-operated toothbrush, especially if you have arthritis or other problems that make it difficult to brush effectively. Practice good technique. Hold your toothbrush at a slight angle against your teeth and brush with short back and forth motions. Remember to brush the inside and chewing surfaces of your teeth as well as your tongue. Avoid vigorous or harsh scrubbing, which can irritate your gums. Keep your equipment clean. Always rinse your toothbrush with water after brushing. Store your toothbrush in an upright position, if possible, and allow it to air dry until using it again. Don't routinely cover toothbrushes or store them in closed containers, which can encourage the growth of bacteria. Know when to replace your toothbrush. Invest in a new toothbrush or a replacement head for the electric or battery-operated toothbrush every 3 to 4 months, or sooner if the bristles become frayed. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments, so please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire news production team here at the Government Information Service, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching, and do remember to join us again tomorrow.